Hey everyone, my name is Bhavesh. So today we will talk about next set of primitive data types, which are your Boolean, null, undefined, symbol, begin, right? We will not talk about symbol and begin for now, but let's talk about the Boolean, null and undefined. Let's get started, guys. So as you already know, the Boolean data type, it have two values. One can be true, another can be false. Okay, so here the T and F will remain small, not like Python. So it is a case sensitive language definitely. So we will have a true and false in the small letter. These two are Booleans. So if I will print the type of any of the variables using the type of keyword, as we remember from the last lecture, type of keyword space the variable name, that is type of A. So I will get here the Boolean data type. Okay, so this is our next data type. This is very simple data type. There is nothing much to convey on this, so it is super simple data type. Okay, and if we talk about the numerical values of these Boolean data types, true is always known as 1 and the false is always known as the 0. Basically, if I will convert these Booleans into the number, these will be the respective values of these Boolean values. Okay, true and false. Next is we have undefined as a data type. As we remember from the first lecture, if I declare a variable, just declare, by default the value of this variable is undefined. Default value is undefined, right? So if I will try to print the type of C, I will get undefined as a data type. Let's try it out. So we get undefined as a data type. Okay, so undefined data type have only one value, that is undefined itself. How we get that? Just declare a variable, don't assign any value, then we will get the default value as undefined. Okay. Moving further, there is another value known as null. It's not a data type, it's a value, primitive value. So this is an exception in JavaScript. Null. So null is a primitive value. Okay, what do I mean by this is, null is a primitive value, but the type of null is object. So if I will try to run this code, the type of null as a value is object. Let me explain this in more detail. Okay, so if you declare a variable, the by default value is undefined. What is undefined? Void, nothing. Okay, now I explicitly say let A equals to null. Now what is null? Again void, nothing. Here I didn't say it directly that A is void, right? It is implicitly known by the language that A is a void. But here I explicitly said, basically I said by myself that A is a void. Okay, that's the difference between both undefined and null. The data type of undefined is undefined only, but the data type of null is object, and both are primitive values. Both are primitive values, means both are immutable values. Okay, what is the difference between undefined and null? Undefined is telling that a variable is void implicitly. Basically the language itself knows it. And telling a variable void explicitly, basically by ourselves as a programmer, we are saying that A is void using the keyword, using the primitive value null. That is your null. In terms of value, null is equals to undefined. Not in terms of data type. The data type of both is different. Undefined data type is undefined, null data type is object. But in terms of value, both are equal, both are void, both are nothing. Right? One we are saying explicitly, one is identified implicitly by the language. So undefined is identified by the language itself. We are not explicitly saying that A is void. We just declared it, right? But here we are explicitly saying that A is null, A is void, A is nothing. That's the difference between both. So null is a primitive value of data type object. So it's an exception in JS. It's a primitive, but data type is object. Okay. So remember this, the difference between null and the void. I hope so this is clear. Okay. Next is your symbol, yes, but we will talk about this on a later end. Okay, because symbol and begint are two data types which we generally don't use so much, and these will make things unnecessarily complex at this point of time. So there is no need to understand these data types at this particular point of time, so we will skip them for now. Okay, now next let's talk about the operators. At what level we have talked about the operators in numbers, about the arithmetic operators, right? Let's talk about the comparison operators. Okay, comparison operators. Okay, so all the comparison operators returns a boolean. Point number one. What is the point number one? Comparison happens between two values and it returns a boolean always. Let's first talk about the two comparison operators, double equals to and triple equals to. If I am saying 1 double equals to string of 1, this will come as true. Why? This is string, this is number, still these both are equal. So in terms of value both are equal, but in terms of data type both are not equal. So in terms of value both are 1, but in terms of data type this is number and this is string. Okay, so the double equals to compares only the value, double equals to compares only the value. But your triple equals to, if I say 1 triple equals to string of 1, I will get a false. Why? Because triple equals to compares both value and the data type. Okay, so 1 triple equals to string 1 false, but 1 double equals to string 1 is true. Okay, this is the difference between double equals to and triple equals to. Let's see at the few examples. So if I say console.log 1 double equals to string 1, I will get a true. If I say console.log 1 triple equals to string 1, I will get a false. If I run it, node comparison operators.js, I got true and false. Now let's remember the null and undefined. What I said, in terms of value, null equals to undefined, but in terms of data type both are not equal. See, true and false again. Got it? So double equals to compares the values and triple equals to compares the data types as well, values as well as data types. Okay, both. So remember this. For example, if I write this console.log string 1 triple equals to string 2, in terms of data type both are equal, both are string, but in terms of value both are different, so we will still get a false. We will still get a false. Remember this thing. Okay, next is where not equals to and not triple equals to, double equals to. This is absolutely same. So if I say 1 not equals to string 1, so it will get a false. But 1 in terms of value is equals to 1. Yes. 1 in terms of value is equals to false. If I say 1 not double equals to string 1, I will get a true. Why? 1 is not equals to string 1 in terms of data type. In terms of value, yes, but in terms of data type both are not equal, so we will get a true. Got it? So let's just do an example for this as well. So if I say console.log 1 not equals to string 1, but I should get a false. If I say console.log 1 double equals to compares both values and the data type, so I will get a true, right? In terms of data type both are not equal, so that's why I am getting true. In terms of value both are equal, so that's why I am getting a false. But here we have used not equals to, right? But this will become a false. 1 and 1 string 1 both are equal in terms of value, right? Got it? So this is another operator, right? We have few more, but these are the most important ones. Okay. Next, let's move to your logical operators. So what are the logical operators? We will discuss a few. For example, and, or, let's say negation. Okay. First, let's discuss the and. 0 and 0 is 0. 0 and 1 is 0. 1 and 0 is 0. 1 and 1 is 1. As we already know this table. Okay. I am assuming that we already know this table. 0 and 0 is 1. So with AND operator, with AND logical operator, both should be 1. Then only the final output will be 1. Both should be true. Then the final output will be true if both the conditions are true. Okay. This is with the AND operator. Okay. So if I am saying 1 double equals to string of 1 and 2 triple equals to string of 2, what do you think what will be the output? 1 double equals to string of 1? Yes, true. In terms of value, both are true. Okay. 2 triple equals to string of 2? No. In terms of value, yes. In terms of data type, no. So I will get a false. So 1 and 0 is 0. So finally I will get a false. Okay. Here let's take another example. Let's say 1 triple equals to string of 1 and 2 double equals to string of 2. So this is false. Now because this is an AND operator and the first value itself is false, what we can predict is that the final output will be false for sure. We don't need to check for the second statement. Basically, we don't need to evaluate this statement. Evaluate this statement, as we can finalize the output directly from here that the final output will be false for sure. How? Because if the first statement is 0, final output will be 0 for sure. Okay, so this is how JavaScript does not evaluate the second statement with the AND operator if the first statement is false itself. If the first statement is false itself, so 2 equals to 2 will never ever come to our call stack, will never ever get executed, will never ever be calculated. That's my point here. Okay. Similarly with the OR operator, 0 0 0, 0 or 1 1, 1 or 0 1, 1 or 1 1. So absolutely same, but the difference is if the first statement is true, basically 1 equals to 1 and or 2 triple equals to 2. What will happen here is, because this is a true statement, this will never be evaluated. Not evaluated. Why? Because what OR operator says is, if the first statement is true, the output will be true for sure. There is no need to evaluate the second statement. So the final output will come directly from here, that is true. Okay, so this is how the logical operator works. Negation you already know. So if the output is coming true, it will make it false. If the output is coming false, it will make it true. As simple as this. Basically negation of 1 is 0, negation of 0 is 1. So if we have to reverse the output, just put a negation in front. That's how this logical operator works. Okay, let's do a few examples. Console.log, as I talked about, 1 equals to string 1 and 2 equals to string 2. So I will get a false here. Why? First statement is true, but the second statement is false. Okay, so we got a false. Now if I reverse this, console.log 1 triple equals to 1. So now the second statement will not be evaluated itself. Just a second. What I did, 1 triple, oh, I put an OR. Let me put an AND. So the second statement will not be evaluated at all, right? Because the first statement is false itself. The final output will be false. This will not be evaluated. This will not come to my call stack. Similar with the OR operator. So in the first statement, we will get a true, because the first statement is true. In the second also we will get a true, but here the second statement will be evaluated. Second statement will not be evaluated. Here the second statement is checked. Here the second statement is checked because the first came false. Okay, now the second will be checked and both will have a true. That's fine. Okay, so that's the difference between that's your logical operators, I mean, right? Next is your increment operators, increment decrement operators. So we have, let's say, let a equals to 2 then I can do a plus equals to 2. This will increase the variable a by 2. Basically a, it will add 2 to the a. So a will become 4. Finally my a will become 4. Okay. Similarly I can subtract also. I can do a minus equals to 2. My a will become 2 again. Okay. My a became 2 again. Okay. This is increment decrement. In fact we can similarly do multiplication also. So a into equals to 2, 2 into 2, that is 4. So we should get a 4 here now again. We can do division also. So I can say a divided by equals to 2. So we will get a 2 again. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Okay. This is also a possibility. Now next let's talk about pre-increment and post-increment operators. So if I say console.log a++, what will the final output? 2 only, I believe so. See, we got 2 only, but the value of a became 3. So how the post increment pre-increment works, I'm assuming you should know it, but I'm just doing it again for your revision purpose. So a++ is known as post increment and ++ a is known as pre-increment. Okay, now let's say a is 2 initially, and I say console.log a++. Now here what will happen is, first a will be printed, whatever is the value of a, but because it is a post increment, first whatever is the value of a, that will be printed. So we will get 2 as an output. Now a will be incremented. Now the a will become 3, but what is printed? 2. This got printed first. Then the value of a will become 3. Then the value of a will become 3. If instead of this we have, let's say, console.log ++ a. Now here the opposite will happen. First the value of a will increase from 2 to 3 by 1. Then 3 will be printed out. So we will get 3 as an output. Right? That's the difference between the post increment and the pre-increment. So if I say console.log, so first let's check this, a++ then a. So you see the value is 2 and then 3. Let me comment rest of this. So the value is first 2, then if I printed a, it became 3. As I mentioned you, first 2 will be printed, then the value of a will be increased by 1. Now if I make it ++ a, what will happen is, just a second, let me just copy paste. Okay. So if I uncomment this, now I will get 3 and 3. First the value of a will increment, then it will get printed. So a will become first 3, then it will get printed out. Okay, this is your post increment and pre-increment. Similarly, we have post decrement and pre-decrement. I hope so. This is enough for the operators part. Done. Okay. Yep. That's it. In the next lecture, we will talk about the conditionals and loops. Then we will talk about the non-primitive data types as well. So stay tuned. Bye bye.